How do you nurture innovation within your organization? Like, it has to do with people ultimately, but like, I've worked on consulting gigs with some of the largest brands. We're a media buying shop. That's what we do professionally for small and mid-sized, sometimes large businesses. But I've had the opportunity to work with some of the largest brands in the world on a consulting level. And what I
Okay.
find interesting, it's so hard for some companies to swing a massive ship to make one simple change. How are you able to nurture talent within your organization, going back to that idea of being nimble?
That's a great question. And innovation is so critical to our success or even being. Um, the way I got to give credit to other people for this process, but we do have an innovation process, and we meet at least monthly with updates, and we've got a long list of projects that are in different stages. It could be packaging innovation, it could be a new flavor of microwave popcorn. It's a whole variety of things. It could be a completely new product. And we have a step-by-step process and that includes research. And I mean, it's a never-ending process. And honestly, if we're not introducing new ideas and new products, we're going to get left behind. And we can't afford to get left behind and stay in business, because I can assure you that our larger competitors are innovating as well.
How do you measure the success when you have a new flavor or a new product or some sort of new thing that you're looking at? How do you measure, like, how far down the line do you go and you say, okay, we've hit a benchmark, this is good, there's something here? Or alternatively, oh man, we're not getting the sales we want. Like, what's the metric that you say, okay, stop, abandon, move on to the next project?
Well, it's sales. I mean, what we haven't done very well, to be honest with you, in the past, that I think we're going to be better at going forward, is doing some consumer research before we introduce the product. That could include name, could include packaging, could include the product itself. I mean, it's probably all of those things. Because when you introduce a new grocery product, the grocery chains charge what they call a slotting allowance, which is an upfront fee for a little bit of real estate on their shelves. And it costs a lot of money to introduce a product nationally. And so we don't want to make a lot of mistakes, and we have in the past. But at the same time, if you're not showing new products, you will get left behind. So there's a balance there.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the LA Business Podcast. If you like what we're doing on this podcast, please consider subscribing on Apple or Google Play, leaving a 5-star review, and sharing with your friends. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations for a guest you'd like to hear on this podcast, please email me, robert@brillmedia.co. Thank you. Have a fantastic day.